Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. So this is a topic that's, it's a little difficult to talk about, but it's what's your line in the sand? But first off, if you guys like the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button, ring the notification bell, and if you want to, check us out on Patreon, link in the description. Doing good things there. We're rolling along there. Team AP rocks. Also, if you're looking for some good equipment, stuff like that, and you use Amazon, check out the link in the description below for the storefront. 4%, 1 to 4% goes to me instead of Amazon pocketing it. So line in the sand. So for OPSEC reasons, that's my word of the week I've been using a lot this week. I'm not going to tell you what my line in the sand is, and I don't want you guys posting what your line in the sand is in the comments below, unless if you really feel the need to, you really want to, okay, but you don't feel like you have to. Line in the sand, what am I talking about? I'm talking about basically in regards to what's going on. Defunding law enforcement, these autonomous zones, lawlessness, criminality, all this craziness going on. Increased violence, threats, all this, just, you guys know what's going on, all this chaos going on. So in regards to that, we know that the Marxists, communists, socialists, anarchists, whatever group they may be part of, want control. Different levels of control maybe for the groups, but they don't like our country the way it is. They don't like a constitutional republic. So they're trying to destroy our nation and turn it into something that they like, or that they think they like, because they have no idea. They've never been around the world. They're a bunch of spoiled little brats that have never seen what it's like to live in a truly socialist country, or a communist country, or a Marxist country, or any of these things. They haven't seen total anarchy in the streets of Africa and African cities and stuff like that, like I have. So they don't know. They don't have a clue. They just came out of their basements, got off their Xboxes, and started chanting in the streets and destroying things. But anyway, enough of that. What I'm getting at is, what's your line in the sand where you don your plate carrier, you grab your rifle, and it's go time. Point of this video is not necessarily to discuss what this is, because this is a sensitive topic, and this is not a secure platform. So for OPSEC reasons, I want you guys to think. It's a thinking exercise. What things have to happen for that? What things are beyond that line in the sand that you have drawn, where between now and go time? What things have to happen? This is a serious thing. You have to know in here what is your line. And when they cross it, you have to know. So you have to know where that line is first. You got to make that decision. And it's not just one thing. It can be a line that encompasses a lot of different ideas. Like, say, trying to completely take away the First Amendment, or First Amendment, or the Second Amendment, or the Constitution, or any portion thereof. Or it may be door-to-door gun confiscations. That may be your line. It may be shooting war started by the other side. It may be no law enforcement. It may be your city burning. It may be attacks in your neighborhood. It may be lots of different things. I don't know what it is for you guys, but you have to know, if you care about this country, I want you guys to think, please think, and figure out at least one, if not several things that would be your line in the sand. And then also you have to think within the parameters of your life, how are you going to deal with that? What are your actions? Is this a grab my plate, put on my plate carrier, grab my pack, grab my rifle, call the boys up, meet up, and get ready to rock and roll? Or is it jump on your ham, call your group and say, hey, let's bug out, or I'm bugging out. I'm meeting at Rally Alpha. If anybody wants to join there, I'm going to be there between the hours of such and such. And then I'm proceeding to, Bravo 1, which is like bug out location 1. Something like that. You need to have a plan. That's another thing. Not only your personal lines in the sand, but this is stuff you need to discuss within your mutual assistance group, your team, your tribe, whatever you call it. When is go time? If you're involved in the militia, same thing. All this training and stuff like that we're doing and all this preparation we're doing, if we just keep on letting these encroachments happen and pushing us back and back and back and back, and we never ever have a line in the sand to be crossed, we're never going to do anything. We're just going to sit here and spin our wheels. There has to be a point when we say, okay, enough. We're done. We're done. It's disappearing, going totally off grid to a bug out location, forming up group there, or if it's, go time. There's other options. It may be, okay, it's time for me to quit my job, hunker down, shelter in place, protect my property, my house, my whatever it may be, your apartment, although that's not very sustainable. So I want you guys to think about what you need to do or what you're going to do. What are your actions for each of your or each of the things that are lines in the sand for you? That if crossed, like, okay, this is the thing. This is the thing. This is what I'm going to do when that line is crossed. You need to have cause and effect for each thing. Excuse me. And have, and write this down. Talk with your spouse, talk with your family, talk to your tribe. Make these decisions. Start making plans. Have the equipment, the gear, the supplies, whatever it is that is going to be involved, that you're going to need for each of these actions, ready to go. Whether it be increasing caches at your bug out location now, or if it is buying more ammo, if it's doing some more tactical training, which hopefully you're doing anyway on a regular basis, or maybe it's buying a couple more mags or something, whatever it is. I have no idea. I cannot get inside your guys' brains, because we're all, I say this in a lot of my videos, we're all in different situations. I can't just sit here and tell you guys exactly what to do. Okay, you need to do this, this, and this, and your result will be this, this, and this. I can't tell you that, because somebody that lives in the desert of Arizona isn't a complete, somebody in the desert of Arizona working at a minimum wage job with a wife that works a minimum wage job and 4 kids with 2 cars, etc. No savings, whatever. Maybe different than me. There's so many different scenarios. And I'm talking economic differences, how much money we have, abilities, skills, skill-wise, age-wise, physical disabilities, mental disabilities, or abilities, your mental capacity, your area of operations. How wet is it? How dry is it? Elevation, terrain features, people, demographics, politics, all those kind of things that come into play. Somebody that lives in small, tiny little mountain, quote-unquote, town in the mountains of northern Idaho is going to be different than the person that's living in an apartment in downtown San Francisco. I mean, it's just totally different. I think I made enough of a point about that. It's all different. So yeah, I can't sit here and tell you exactly what to do. I want you guys to think for yourselves. Because also, I don't want to be sitting here telling you exactly what to do, even if I may know what are some good things to do. I want you guys to think of it yourselves, to come up with it yourselves. That's empowerment. That's true empowerment. Leadership. Don't be a sheeple. You don't want just a bunch of followers. Everybody can't be a leader. But independent thought is important. No procrastination. Action. And with that, before you get to action, you have to have conviction. You have to know what you will not stand for. And you have to know what you're going to do if. I hope this gets you guys some thought process. Please think about this individually. If you have a spouse or a friend or a group or older kids or whatever it may be, encourage them, kind of like homework. Here's your homework from Asymmetrical Preparedness, whether you choose to do it or not. Your homework is for each person in whatever it is, whatever dynamic you're in, that you associated with you, that's going to be part of this whole situation, have each of them, obviously not little kids, because you don't want to put that much on them, but have each of them come up with what are their lines in the sand. And then, don't lay too much, you layer it. Don't put too much on people at once. First, establish that. Then talk amongst each other. Discuss it. Why? What are you thinking? Stuff like that. Why do you feel this way? All these things, so you get a better understanding of each other. And you can kind of help each other think about what different things you thought about, what different things they thought about, stuff like that. Then, maybe the next day, whatever, talk about, okay, so for each of these scenarios, let's spend some time thinking individually about what do we do if. Get that established, give some time for everybody involved to nail down the what to do if. Then get together, talk about it again. Discuss it. What are your thoughts? Then analyze. This is a good part right here. Analyze each other's actions. Like, what am I going to do? Have everybody give input. You may have missed something. They may have missed something. Everybody giving input like that. Everybody has different brains, different eyes. They're looking at it from a different angle. They're thinking about it from a different angle. Like my wife would she be thinking about it more from the motherly aspect, whereas I would be thinking about it from the militant aspect. So there's a lot, there's all these different sides of it. And then analyze your plans, and then improve your plans. Work on bettering your actions, your plans, what you're going to do. And then also, if it's involving like a mutual assistance group or something like that, outside, people in different residences than you, that don't just all live under one roof. Start making plans for, okay, if this happens, this is what we're going to do as a group. Come to a consensus somehow. I don't know how you're going to do it, if you're going to do it unanimously or whatever. That's on you guys. You got to figure that out. But item, action, then plan. What are we going to do as a group? And how are all these different individual entities, families, or people going to get to the locations to be prepared for the actions? And then talk about communications. How are you going to have a comm plan? I talked about this before. It's so important. Comm plans that you can communicate with each other. Okay, it's, in case, just make sure. Everybody may not know. Somebody may be at work. They may not know it's go time, that line has been crossed. So you need communications and plans. So once you get the communications and plans, put the actions. Okay, have that all set. The more planning you can do prior to this event, which God willing doesn't ever happen, but if it does, we need to be ready for it. And you guys should all know that the time to try to figure out what you're going to do isn't when it's going down. Just like people talk about, the place to fight isn't at your door, or your front door. It's out a ways. Stand off. I explained that, to some people recently about their concern was that fight, being able to, engage out further. And why do I not want to, engage at my doorstep? Actually, I should probably just do a video on that. I'll do a video on that. Anyway, yeah, this is all planning you want to have in place as soon as possible. Because like I said, hopefully it never happens. If you never have to use these plans, great. But at least you know what you're going to do when you need to do it if the need arises. All right, so I hope that gets the point across. I hope it empowers you guys with some thought processes, some ideas, some homework, if you choose to do it. And I guess, I would love to hear comments about what you guys, just the fact that you did the homework, did it, and that you communicated, and that yes, hey, it worked, good idea, we came up with these ideas. You don't have to tell me what the ideas are or anything like that, but just tell me that, hey, yeah, we did this, and we figured out some things and we worked through it and stuff like that. Great. But I encourage you guys to prep a little every day. This could be your prep of the day. Is, talking about this stuff, figuring this stuff out. And prep out of peace of mind, not out of fear. Even though all this craziness is going on, we're not talking about this stuff because we're fearful. I'm not talking about this stuff to do clickbait and fear porn stuff. I'm talking about this stuff to motivate, encourage, and empower you guys. We got to be ready. We got to be ready to stand if need be. I love you guys, and blessings to you and yours.